Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Second opinion with Dr. Manolo. Wherever you are, in which country you are, wherever schedule you are, sit comfortable because we are coming with excellent information for you. The big light of the Agenda 2030. We are going to do the spiritual analysis with our theologist, Martha Garcia. How are you?
I'm doing great. Hello, friends and family. How you doing? We hope that you're having a great day today, that you're optimistic, that you're happy, and that you're ready to learn something that is going to help you open your mind and maybe your heart for your Creator.
When we are talking about the Agenda 2030, we're talking about the same of the same because we were receiving after the Second War in 1945, the New World Order was created, the United Nations was created, and they were offering this is the paradise of the world. They are offering a lot of things good for the community, but they didn't fulfill anything.
Nothing at all. Besides, this idea is so old. It's so old.
Repeating the same.
They just keep on repeating. And if we remember back in maybe in the 1990s, they were starting preparing an agenda that it was called Agenda 21. Right? And now, friends, you can find all this information in the United Nations page. Okay, so you can read, you can investigate, and make your own decisions. So first was Agenda 2020, and they have that in mind, convinced that Hillary Clinton was going to be the president. So with that in mind, they create this agenda. And if that would have happened, then right now and at this time, that agenda would be almost completed and our world will look completely different. With Hillary as president, it will look completely different than what it looks right now. And definitely our world will be different. Definitely.
I am a journalist, investigator for 35 years. When I saw Obama, I like him. But
I like him too.
But I say, he has something in plan, so they have a different agenda, because he was doing almost perfect work. But we didn't know, at the time we were thinking something wrong is coming. We didn't know he was preparing the platform for receive Hillary Clinton and establish this agenda.
Complete it.
So, but
the agenda.
But the people, they didn't eat the news at the time. They say, we don't want same of the same. We want to go against the system. And one outsider from the political arena, like Donald Trump, came in, and he won in the first intention, not because he won, not because he was nice, because he was not nice, still is not nice. But the people didn't want to have the same of the same.
I think that by the middle, or on the half, where Obama was as a president, people wake up and realize that we were set up for a lie. And whatever he promised with his beautiful words and demeanor and charming presence, we were just deceived because that didn't happen. And now, not only that, he stayed for 8 years. Do you know what kind of transformation can you do in 8 years?
Wow.
A lot of things. So then he totally transformed the United States from before, and he was thinking that the platform was going to be totally prepared for Hillary Clinton. Now, we didn't count, and they didn't count that God Almighty is in control.
I was coming to that point.
And in that process, in those years, a lot of people wake up and realize that we definitely must turn to our foundation. We need to turn back to our faith if we want to do something for this country. So then people start praying, interceding, asking God for forgiveness for all the things that this country has done. And people of faith did nothing about it. The Bible says, when good people do nothing, then evil prospers.
When we are reviewing the history, we see the empires in the past, from Roman empires or Spain. We can be naming a lot. And the U.S., it is still the empire. And in order to be destroying this empire, people were mentioning, in order to destroy, you have to have somebody from inside in order to do. In Spanish, we say topo. So they can be doing everything from inside so nobody can be realizing, but when you realize it's done.
Yes.
And they will consider like Obama was that guy.
If you want to destroy anything at all, you need to start from the inside out. And it's good that you mentioned that, because that's one of the reasons the churches have been destroyed as well.
From inside.
Because there's a lot of infiltrators. You know, people that come, they change the theology. They put people to sleep. They don't urge them to pray, to participate in the government. They don't urge them to do what the Bible tells us to do. So then that's why 80% of the church became irrelevant, and a lot of people left the church because they want nothing to do with it. They have bad examples, bad experiences, bad theology, a lot of problems. So people make a decision that it was God's fault, when in reality it was man's fault. It was misrepresenting. So all, as you said, everything gets destroyed from inside out, and that is exactly what happened to our country as well.
Now, coming back to the Agenda 2030, we say it is the same or the same. Why? Because in 1989, the New World Order, they made the changes to include in the new society, basically for them. They say, regarding to the family, homosexual marriage will be legalized, what is happening now. Okay, parents will not be allowed to raise their children. The state will be. Wow. All women will be employed by the state and not allowed to be homemakers. And divorce will become exceeding easy, and monogamous marriage will not be slowly passed out. Now, regarding to the workplace, the government will become the owner of the factors of the production. So no more private property. And they say the private ownership will be outlawed. Now, regarding to the religion, this is scary. Religion will be outlawed, and believers will be either eliminated or imprisoned. And they say there will be a new religion, the worship of man and his mind, or will be believe in the new religion.
Absolutely. Well,
so it was happening from before. Now that they come with this agenda.
Yes. Now, it's because they have many methodologies in system to implant the New World Order. And those guidelines and those objectives and those goals are being sitting there forever. And they've been using different areas and different people and different organizations to make this happen. The destruction of the family is the number one. And it's happened already, because the family is no longer. People no longer hold marriage in a higher place. They don't honor their husband or wife. They don't believe in lifetime partnership. They don't believe in the family. But I mean, a lot of people. And the destruction of the family has brought us to where we are right now. We have a lot of crisis.
If you destroy the family, you destroy the society.
Everything. And then I'm talking about faith. A person that has no faith on anything, then it becomes a self-love. Becomes self-indulgent with himself. You know, it just cares about him or her and his own needs, his own desires, his own goals, and he can be careless about the rest of the world. And that's what we have right now.
So basically, the Agenda 2030 that was written in the United Nations Convention, I could say that way, in 2015. So they have already 5 years, and they say we will get 17 different objectives to finalize in 2030. So basically, they are thinking in the next 9 years, they are going to be having complete agenda established already. But when I was checking since the Second World War, 1945, they are basically repeating these offers.
Yeah, the word are the same. It seems like we have no memory, because they repeat the same promises every time. And then as we are going to look into the objectives and what have they accomplished, we're going to notice that they have accomplished zero. It's just a promise of that they're going to do this, but at
they accomplish the bad part.
Yes, they do their agenda, but not for the benefit of the humanity. And one more thing, if we put the New World Order objectives and goals and agenda, and we put the United Nations Agenda 2030, are exactly the same. It's just different words. So There you have it, friends.
Now, the Agenda 2030, they have like 17 different objects. Let's go just the first three.
Yes. Because of time, friends, we're going to break this in different sections. And right now, we're just going to talk about the three first objectives of the Agenda 2030. And then the next one, we'll do the next 2 or 3 or 4, whatever the time allows, and so on and so forth, until we complete the 17 points. And that's going to give you an opportunity to think.
But at the same time, everything it is coming to one point: eliminate the humanity,
enslave humanity, destroy humanity as we know it.
So we are going to,
and therefore, in a way, eliminate. What they want to do eventually is to separate completely man from the Creator, using whatever means they have. So at one point, we have no trace, no understanding, no memory of ever being created.
If you don't recollect the history, you can repeat the same mistakes.
Exactly, and that's what happens over and over.
We are going to be checking not only about these 17 objectives at the same time, what was going on since that time, because we have so many genocides. And it is, I could say, it is dangerous word to use at this time, but it was. Like what is going on right now with the COVID-19, it is a genocide.
It is, yes. It has a purpose behind it.
Exactly.
We just receive the nice words and the nice positive message, but underneath, we need to read between the lines and see, discern what is really happening and the message, what is really the message that they're giving to us.
Now, one of the objectives we are going to be talking about, 3 of them, it's eradicate poverty in all forms throughout the world.
Okay, friends, we cannot eradicate poverty. Okay, that is impossible. Simple because if we consider how we create the poverty, because poverty is created by men. So therefore, man is not going to finish. No law made by men is going to eradicate poverty. Poverty is created by ambition, corruption, evil, and men that are hungry for power and control. Now, do you really think that they are going to go and seek the best of the humanity? Not at all.
Unless you eliminate that group.
Now, if we eliminate all the perversion and the corruption, then there's hope. But meanwhile, we are under this system. Is not going to happen. So now the verbiage, the language that they use is inspiring. It's even give you the desire to help and support because they use a very, very good language. But the reality is something else. Now, what is the methodology they're going to use to eradicate poverty? Now, check this out, okay? They want to make everybody depending on the government. Everybody. And that is so scary, just the thought of it.
Just to be talking that part, when we have the socialists and communists with the Russia at that time with all the 17 countries, they were the Soviet Union. They got that system. What happened? Collapse. So why they are talking again about the same system?
Because the only way that we can establish, or they can establish our new world order is through socialism, Marxism, and total control and dependency of the government. Is the only way. There's no other way to establish one world order.
Which is they want now to establish.
Yes, they
are doing already.
They are fighting that. That's one of the reasons they are fighting so fiercely against President Donald Trump. Okay, so remember that we told you we do not.
We are not Republicans.
We were not
we are
supporting
not Democrats.
The person. We're supporting the agenda, and the agenda of Donald Trump was great. Not only to slow down this agenda, but probably to put a stop on it for a long time. But now, with the situation that we have, we don't know what could happen.
What is going to happen?
But this agenda, my friends, this people is just fighting and fighting and fighting to make this happen. So, in order for that to eliminate the poverty, according to their terms, is to make us 100% dependent on the government, meaning no more private property. We will be living in the projects, housing provided by the government, money provided by the government, medical service provided by the government, and Medicaid provided by the government. If we become totally dependent on the government, we're totally, the spirit of man is dead. So the methodology they're offering is just not working. Look at it right now. People went to the homes for the COVID-19. Some people received some money, others didn't receive the money. Only in this country. Yes. Only in this country. In other countries, there's nothing like it. So in other countries, people die, starve, committed suicide, or just defy the rules because they have to go and earn their money.
Okay, just remember what happened in Mexico. 30 million people, they were living day by day in order to be bringing food for the families. And they say, I prefer die of COVID-19 instead to be dying of hunger, me and my family. Yes. So they didn't respect to stay like enclose the houses because they said, this is not house arrest or home arrest. It is not. So let's go to the second point. They say.
Okay, let's go to point number 2.
Yes.
The objective number 2, according to them, is to finish with the hunger. According to them, part of the agenda is that there will be no more hunger. Friends, another lie. And the methodology that they want to use is GMOs. GMOs. All the food is going to be altered, genetically altered. Well, we already have it here. We find so many illness, a lot of people getting sick for consuming this type of food.
We are number 1 country in the world to be obese. Second country is Mexico. And because of that?
And because of that. So that's their plan. They try or they attempt to finish with the hunger by producing or mass producing genetically altered food. In fact, I think that I just recently read that the first food that was produced on the laboratory was already put to sale. Do you read that? I read that article. So think about that. They are trying to mass produce food that is not natural food, that is GMO. That is really terrible because the modification and the alter that is going to happen in your body is horrible. The chemical balance that we naturally have is going to be destroyed very slowly if they come to be or impose that we only have access to GMO food.
When we say the ultimate plan they have it is to eliminate the humanity, to give this kind of food is one of the ways.
One of the ways. One of the many ways.
Exactly, one of the ways. So let's go to the number 3. Guarantee the healthy life and promote well-being for all and for all ages.
Okay, objective number 3.
They have the guts to say that. I cannot believe.
Good health and well-being. What is the methodology they're going to use? Check this out. Forced vaccines. In the previous program, we used about the vaccine and what the ingredients are and the repercussions that we will have, the consequences that we have if we are forced to be vaccinated. So, but this is one of the plans. They are planning to promise good health and well-being for everybody, but by forced vaccinations, okay, medical selectiveness, like they're going to select who they're going to give service and who they will not give service. And number 3, make us codependent of medication. Do you know how many people is dependent on medication right now?
2 things. Number 1, regarding to the people, they are feeling sick and they want to get a doctor appointment, and they say, "Oh, we can give in 3 months."
That is true. In 3 months, many things can happen.
Pass away.
Yes, you can die. You can. Your situation can be worse. I mean, there's many things.
Now, regarding to the medicine, I was checking because I remember I am a journalist, investigator for 35 years. So sometimes it is better to don't know, so you cannot be unhappy. But when you have the information, you have the power, and you can share that information. I was checking that. Like one single pill, okay, they charge you up to $100. It costs 2 cents to elaborate that.
That is a crime against humanity.
And it is using to kill the people. And they are selling to the same person who is going to be died
They're
after
killing
they
them
take
slowly.
it. And charging for that.
Yes. I don't know if I say a story, a personal experience. I don't know if I shared it before, but I'm going to say it real quick. That I was sick. I had cancer. And I was sick for about, let's say, 5 years, okay? 1 year, I had the surgery, the treatment, but what I had was a secondary effect of chemotherapy. Let me tell you, I regret doing that, but back then, you know, you are just too much into your work and you don't pay attention to what is really important. So 4 years, I was paying the consequences of the chemotherapy. So, at the very last moment, the doctors give me 10 pills that I have to be on for the rest of my life. Right? Every day. And Manolo went to visit me to the hospital thinking that I was going to die.
Yeah, we went with my wife to say you goodbye because the way you were physically was impossible to recover.
It looked impossible.
Unless you are connected with the Creator.
Absolutely. See, there's always hope and there's always a different mindset when you're connected with your Creator. So, okay, the doctors told me that I have to take this medicine for life. I did it for 2 days, okay? But then something happens inside of me because I knew the gospel for a while. But as I said, life happens, you get distracted with your job, and you just kind of put that part of you to sleep. Where something happened is my spirit, and the Lord resurrected my spirit and reminded me of all the promises. So in an act of faith, I'm not saying that you do it, I'm talking about me, okay? In a step of faith, an act of faith, I took all my medicine, put it in the trash, and started doing a natural detox. So I started having green juice detox, veggies, and fruits, and non-milk, non-GMO, none of those. And I recovered, listen, in 6 months. In 6 months, I recovered after being five years sick. And 4 years fighting with the secondary effects of the chemotherapy. So that should say something. So that's why I'm saying...
So there is a way to be recovering.
There is a way to recover natural because God, the Creator, gives us everything we need in the nature. You know, the soil recovers by itself in 7 years. The Bible says all those steps that we need to do. In fact, some people follow those steps. Yes. And so the soil recovers by itself in 7 years. So we have the soil, we have the trees, we have everything that nature offers us to keep our body healthy. But now check this out. If they are altering the natural seed and they altering the food that it should keep us healthy, what do you think is happening right now? GMOs are killing us slowly. Medicine is killing us slowly. Okay.
So they have the agenda to eliminate the humanity, and they are doing basically systematically, one by one, until they are going to get what they trying to since long time ago.
Yes. So then they doing that systematically, and that is going to happen unless, I'm telling you this, we must connect with our Creator, open up our heart and opportunity, because we are expecting to have perilous times. But it's not a time to be afraid. It's time for you to wake up and go reconnected with your Creator, because it doesn't matter if we are in the valley of the shadow of death. The Lord is with us, and He's going to guide us. And what is that is going to happen? And besides, there's a big promise for all those who believe. This agenda is going to happen, but we will not be here to see it happening. We're just having a taste of the judgment of God for not doing what we're supposed to.
Yeah,
but the rage of God is not for us. It's for all those people that have committed crimes against humanity and against the creation.
And we don't want to scare to anybody. Just we want to bring information.
We want to bring hope. Yes. Yeah. So you know what's going to happen, and you get prepared physically and spiritually. And that's all we want to do. And I'm telling you, the same way that the Lord healed me and healed Manolo and bring us back here to share something with you, God has a purpose for your life, a purpose for this time. You were created to exist in this time because you have a purpose. You just need to call unto the Lord and ask him to guide you, because
No,
we
are
need
samples.
you.
We are samples
We need
of
you.
that.
Yes, and we are through testimonies.
Yes,
that is happening. By all men standards, I should be dead, but God has other plans for my life, and He has my life in His hands, and as He has your life in His hands. So just trust Him and don't be afraid.
So we will be coming next week with under the same umbrella of title like Agenda 2030. We are going to be bringing more information because it is important. You know the story, the history. You have to. Why? Because at least you can make a plan B or plan C in your life. So for now, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We'll see you.